You know what's strange? The moment you open your bank app, and instead of feeling tension, you feel calm. Not excitement, not even happiness, just silence in your mind. No calculations running in the background. No quiet anxiety asking questions. No voice whispering, "Can I afford this? Should I wait? What if something goes wrong?" Just stillness. Most people have never experienced that stillness because most people are not really chasing money. They are chasing relief. Relief from pressure. Relief from uncertainty. Relief from the constant background noise that follows every financial decision. And here is the surprising part. That silence does not require millions. It does not require luxury. It does not require financial perfection. It begins at a number most people underestimate, a number that feels small, yet quietly changes everything. That number is $20,000. Most people believe wealth begins when life looks expensive. A large house, a new car, luxury vacations, designer brands, visible proof of success. But visible wealth and real wealth are rarely the same thing. Real wealth begins the moment pressure disappears from your decisions. Because pressure distorts judgment. Pressure creates urgency, and urgency creates mistakes. Repeated mistakes create financial cycles that feel difficult to escape. When savings are low or non-existent, your mind operates in protection mode. Every decision feels important. Every expense feels dangerous. Every unexpected event feels like a threat. You begin calculating constantly. Even small choices feel heavy. Should I buy this? Should I wait? Can I risk this? What if something happens? Your brain becomes occupied with survival. And when survival dominates your thinking, growth becomes difficult. Because growth requires space. Growth requires patience. Growth requires the ability to think beyond today. But survival thinking focuses only on immediate outcomes. It narrows perspective. It reduces creativity. It makes the future feel distant and uncertain. Many people believe financial success is mostly about knowledge. Understanding investing. Understanding markets. Understanding strategies. But before knowledge can even be applied, mental stability must exist. Because information is only useful when the mind is calm enough to process it. A stressed mind rarely builds long-term wealth. It simply tries to avoid short-term pain. Something changes once a financial cushion exists. Not instantly, not dramatically, but noticeably. Decisions feel slower. Thoughts feel clearer. Fear becomes quieter. And the future begins to feel real, not imaginary, not theoretical, but reachable. $20,000 is not magical. It is psychological. It represents distance from emergency, distance from instability, distance from constant reaction, and distance creates perspective. Perspective allows strategy. Strategy allows progress. Think of financial progress like pushing a heavy object uphill. At the beginning, effort feels extreme. Movement feels slow. Results feel invisible. Motivation becomes difficult to maintain because progress exists, but it is not yet obvious. This stage discourages many people, not because they lack ability, but because they lack evidence. Humans need evidence to sustain effort. We need to see that something is working. We need signs that movement is happening. Without signs, effort feels pointless. And pointless effort is rarely sustained. Savings create visible progress. Even small increases create evidence. Evidence builds belief. Belief sustains discipline. Discipline produces momentum. Momentum produces acceleration. Acceleration produces confidence. Confidence produces opportunity. Opportunity produces expansion. Before financial stability, effort feels isolated. After financial stability, effort feels supported because money begins contributing to its own growth. At first, income creates savings. Later, savings assist income. Eventually, savings reduce dependence on income. And this transition changes how time feels. Time begins working with you instead of against you. When money exists, options exist. And options reduce fear. Fear limits action. Limited action limits outcomes. Expanded action increases the probability of improvement. Freedom is not created by abundance. Freedom is created by breathing room. Breathing room creates thoughtful decisions, and thoughtful decisions compound over time. Money does not eliminate problems. It changes the speed at which problems must be solved. Urgent problems create emotional decisions. Emotional decisions often prioritize relief over logic. When urgency decreases, logic becomes accessible again, and logic tends to outperform emotion in financial environments. People often believe wealthy individuals think differently because they are special, but in many cases, they simply think differently because they are not under pressure. Pressure compresses perspective. Stability expands perspective. Expanded perspective improves judgment. Improved judgment improves outcomes. Repeated improved outcomes build wealth. $20,000 does not make someone rich, but it often marks the beginning of strategic thinking. Because survival decisions decrease and intentional decisions increase. Intentional decisions shape long-term direction, and direction determines destination. At low savings levels, attention focuses on small expenses. Minor price differences feel significant. Small purchases feel consequential. Energy becomes concentrated on tiny optimizations. Coffee choices, subscriptions, minor conveniences. These decisions feel meaningful because resources feel limited. But small expenses rarely determine financial trajectories. Large decisions carry greater influence. Housing, transportation, income strategy, skill development, investment behavior, lifestyle inflation, relationship with risk. These variables shape long-term outcomes. Mental space increases as financial pressure decreases. Once a foundation exists, attention shifts. From micro-optimization to macro direction. From small savings to meaningful leverage. From immediate discomfort to future positioning. Positioning determines opportunity exposure, and opportunity exposure determines probability of advancement. Money buys time to think, and thinking influences everything. Clear thinking improves negotiation. Clear thinking improves decision speed. Clear thinking improves emotional regulation. Clear thinking improves planning accuracy. Clear thinking improves pattern recognition. Pattern recognition identifies leverage points. Leverage points create disproportionate results. Disproportionate results create financial acceleration. Career behavior often changes once financial stability appears. Confidence increases quietly. Communication becomes more direct. Boundaries become clearer. Tolerance for unhealthy environments decreases. Risk tolerance adjusts. Exploration becomes possible. Negotiation improves. Because dependency decreases. Reduced dependency shifts power dynamics. Power dynamics influence opportunity distribution. Opportunity distribution influences income trajectory. Income trajectory influences investment capacity. Investment capacity influences financial independence speed. Walking away becomes possible, even if walking away is never required. Possibility alone influences behavior. Because perceived control reduces stress. Reduced stress improves performance. Improved performance increases recognition. Recognition increases advancement probability. Advancement increases earning potential. Earning potential increases investment contributions. Investment contributions increase compounding speed. Compounding speed changes life trajectories. Consistency often outperforms intensity. Because intensity is temporary. Consistency is sustainable. Sustainable behavior produces cumulative outcomes. Cumulative outcomes build financial structures. Financial structures support lifestyle flexibility. Lifestyle flexibility increases satisfaction. Satisfaction reduces impulsive financial decisions. Reduced impulsivity improves wealth retention. $20,000 will not solve every problem, but it will change the nature of many problems. It will reduce urgency. It will increase clarity. It will expand perspective. It will improve decision quality. It will introduce momentum. It will create options. Options create leverage. Leverage accelerates progress. Progress reinforces belief. Belief sustains action. Sustained action produces outcomes. Outcomes reshape identity. Identity shapes destiny. $20,000 is not wealth, but it is often the first moment wealth becomes believable. And once something becomes believable, behavior changes. And once behavior changes, results follow. And once results follow, life begins to feel designed instead of accidental. Clarity replaces noise. Calm replaces pressure. Direction replaces confusion. Everything begins moving differently, more stable, more intentional, more controlled. And once that shift happens, there is no going back. Because awareness has already begun building the future. Quietly, consistently, intentionally, one decision at a time. If this added value, keep your mind in the right environment. Subscribe, like, comment, share, and follow on all social media platforms. Because information alone doesn't change lives. Applied thinking does. Thank you.